And while the seasons have changed, they sometimes come slowly to the West Coast. We have a lot of cold air, looking almost very late fall-like, early winter-like for the middle portion of the country. And then as you head to the West Coast, need I say, it's extremely warm. But this happens during the fall. Luckily, we're going to try to cool it down ever so slowly on Sunday. We already did on our Saturday, but we're going to bring it down some more for Sunday. Also have very good news. A lot of storm activity to our north. Maybe it won't be much of an effect for California, but at least we are getting something off the Pacific into the Pacific Northwest. They had their fire issues, and in the Intermountain areas, they're even looking at some snow. Of course, for us, though, we got to keep our eyes with at least some hopeful eyes out there that we'll see some of this activity sliding into California as we get closer to November. Let's hope so, but at least something is happening well to our north. There's the marine layer. That's good news for us. It does help to cool us down a little bit, but whenever the marine layer has to sort of make a comeback after an offshore event, it can tend to be a little on the dense side, as it doesn't really go very far inland, but what it does is it sits really low to the deck of the earth, and therefore you could have some reduced visibilities over the next couple of days. Wind should not be a problem. It does get a little breezy along the Santa Barbara South Coast at times. Very typical. This is a north flow or a northwesterly flow. We expect this, so you might get a little boost, and every so often get a little bit of a burst of gustiness in and around Gaviota. As far as the rain, one more time, we'll watch well to our north. At least somebody's getting something, so that's the good news there. And we're not seeing that big offshore event across the west. Could still get our offshore events. Of course, this is the time of year when we do, so we have to keep a very close eye on those storms as they pass over and to behind us. Sometimes we do get some wind. And there's your highs for your Sunday. And look at this, boy, we expect to see that little northerly flow at times around Gaviota. Sometimes our computer gets a little overzealous with that, so maybe it won't get quite that warm, but there is a decent chance you'll be a lot warmer than your neighbors. And then by Monday, we see maybe a reversal of those winds along the Gaviota coast, and look how cool it is in other areas, and that's because we're getting that very lovely, our friend, the marine layer activity back into the game here. Smoke, well, good news is we should see a little bit, some alleviated smoke values for the Central Coast and down into Southern California. The bad news is, of course, when I pull away, that's the monstrous, now #1 fire in California history, Creek Fire, still putting out lots of energy, and that smoke probably won't leave our area at least until we get some real rain on top of that activity. But it looks like it will get a little bit better over the next couple of days, so that's the good news for us, of course. As far as official advisories and watches for the air quality, still a little unhealthy for some areas, moderate for a lot of us, and then even decent air for a few of us, so that's good news there. Now your highs on Sunday will go into the 70s. A few 80s are expected again, and that's because of that lingering offshore flow we had the last several days. But with that coastal fog knocking on the door out there as we speak right now, the good news is we are definitely on the downside of this latest fall heat wave, and we'll probably see some more of those, as it's very typical and it does happen. Maybe not quite as extreme as what we've seen, but we do get those warm days throughout the fall. So there's your highs for Ventura County. There's a little surf out there as well if you do head to the beaches, so that's the good news. And of course, we will update all of our forecasts both here in the Weather Center and online throughout the next several days.